We want to write the equation of the line that passes through these points with these given slopes, and to do so, we're given a point and the slope, so we're going to use the point-slope form. Let's give number 1 a go. So in number 1, what we're going to do is we're going to use the point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 with, so what have we got here? Now look at this form. What do we need? We need a y1. We've got a y1, right? The first y we see, in fact, the only y we see is 3. We need an m. We've got the m, that's a 2. And we need an x1. An x1 is the first x we see, and that's the first x I see. So I'm going to use this point-slope form with x1 equal to 4, y1 equal to 3, m equal to 2. So let's substitute these values into this template. Now I'm calling this a template just because we just have these blank fields, 1, 2, 3, that we substitute in. So let's do that. So we are going to get y minus y1, and the first y that we see is 3 equals m. M is 2 times x minus x1, and that x1 is a 4. Let's multiply through here. We'll get y minus 3 equals 2x minus 8, and then we're going to add that 3, right? So we'll get y equals 2x, and then negative 8 plus 3 is that minus 5. Number 1 is done. For problem 2, we're going to use, now I'm going to keep writing that template because it puts it in my head. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and I'm going to use that template with, now what are we given here? What is x1? Negative 1. What is y1? 6. And m is negative 4. So I'm going to use that template with x1 equal to negative 1, y1 equal to 6, and m equal to 4. So substituting these values into our template, we're going to get y minus y1, but y1 is 6, equals m, negative 4. Oh, you know, up here, that's a negative 4. I think they're testing it out for negatives here. So let me get back to this then. So this will be y minus 6 equals negative 4 times x minus, now be careful here, negative 1. They're giving us a bunch of negatives just to see if we're alert. And I wasn't right at the beginning. So let's take this through now. So we'll get y minus 6 equals negative 4 times, now in here we'll get x plus 1. Take it through. We get y minus 6 equals negative 4x minus 4. And then, well, of course, we'll add 6. So we'll get y equals negative 4x. And then negative 4 plus 6 puts us at plus 2. There's number 2. And for number 3, again, we're going to use y minus y1 equals, so let's substitute these values into that template, and we will get y minus y1, but y1 is 7, equals m, which is 5, times x minus x1, x1 is 0. So we get y minus 7 equals, now what do we get here? Just 5x, right? 5 times 0 is 0, and then we'll add 7. So we'll get y equals 5x plus 7. Let's notice something here, though. We could have done this probably more quickly if we had used what we know about this point right over here. All right, so I'm going to take us to this point right here. What is that point? The x component is 0. The y component is 7. So this is the y-intercept. So I could have used the slope-intercept form. So I could have used, right, the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and m is 5, b is 7, and then if I just substitute directly in, I get y equals 5x plus 7, the same as we got up here. In number 4, we have this point and that slope. So I've got a point and the slope. So I'm going to use this template, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 with, so what are we given? x1 is 6, y1 is 0, and m is negative 1. So we're going to have x1 is 6, y1 is 0, m is negative 1. And let's substitute these values into that template. So doing so, we'll get y minus 0 equals m, negative 1, times x minus x1, but x1 is 6. So this will give us y minus 0 is just y equals, and then take this through, we'll get negative x plus 6, and there it is. And here, number 5, we're given this point here, which is the origin, and a slope of 1. So let's use the point slope form. Here's our template. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 with, all right, x1 is 0, y1 is 0, m is 1. So let's substitute these values into our template. So we'll get y minus 0 is equal to m, 1, x minus 0. We'll get y equals, and then just 1x, or how about just y equals x?